We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years, approximately 8 to 6 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being number 2. You're going to go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a third grade education would tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2, you all jumped ahead of me, but anyway, you can guess what you're going to get when you become number 4.
President Biden, do you support reparations?
Well, I mean, since I haven't spoken on this, you have a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is that not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America. Systemic racism that has plagued our nation for far, far too long. I said that over the course of the past year that the blinders have been taken off the nation, the American people. But what many Americans didn't see or had simply refused to see couldn't be ignored any longer. Those 8 minutes and 46 seconds that took George Floyd's life opened the eyes of millions of Americans and millions of people around all over the world. It was the knee on the neck of justice, and it wouldn't be forgotten. And it's not white Americans' fault, but just a fact.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
We are owed $104 trillion on the very low end, plus $735 billion recurring. This number does not include the cost of about 50 Black Wall Streets that were decimated, nor compound interest from 2017 when Sean D. Rochester's book, The Black Tax, was published, nor the cost of Black life, nor the cost of living increases, nor the war on drugs, nor the current day pandemic. The number I'm working with is for slavery, Jim Crow, and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage in the country our ancestors built with their lives.
Good afternoon on the West Coast. Good afternoon in the mountains. Good afternoon in the Central. Good afternoon on the East Coast. You know exactly who it is, family. Angela Nirvana, your hostess with the mostest on the reparationist perspective, bringing you those ADOCS hot topics and making the case for reparations, making the case for weaponizing our vote and socializing our suffering until the Democrats cut the checks in the trillions over multi-generations. That's my square, family. You know it. Thank you one and all for joining the live. This is your midday wake-up call on a Friday. Because I've been trying to get to this story since Monday. I see you, Brian Johnson, Kelly Pryor. And for those of you who have yet to chat, where you're slinging bricks on behalf of ADOCS, welcome to the line. Yes, this is very, very important, family. The puckery and how the government has been complicit, okay, in wiping ADOCS completely off the monopoly board in our 500-plus year Holocaust. You have to understand all the puckery on every front. That kind of started with Obama. Yes. He created 1 million white millionaires during his tenure, given his policy. I see you, Adolf's true. While over half of us lost our wealth, our homes. Yes, I know you guys argue. Well, Angela, he came up with the Keep Your Home Affordable California. But that was after the majority of us had lost our homes. You see how they create the problem and want our votes to be the solution. I say we stop gifting the White House in the form of a trifecta to the Democrats. And on Monday, we're going to talk about the 8 Democrats we need to go after first and foremost, because they collectively earn $43 million while voting down a $15 an hour minimum wage. That can help many ADOCS. It will mostly help Hispanics and other immigrants, because our affirmative action is being used to gainfully employ white women, immigrants, and LGBTQIA before it benefits us. But some of us could benefit from a $15 per hour minimum wage, especially given that the median national home price is $340,000. I want to talk to y'all about the 8 Democrats whose jugular we have to go after, because they're really Republicans in Democratic clothing, earning a combined $43 million between them. That's on Monday. But these are all the ways in which they neutralize us economically. That's going to be in part 2. How they're trying to replace our incomes with weed offers, lowered sentences, Krispy Kreme. They want to give us diabetes and weed habits. It's a whole laundry list of puckery in lieu of a salary. We're going to talk about what the pandemic has cost ADOCS at 6 o'clock this evening on your anti-Black racism report. This is why it should matter to you. So let's just jump right in. I got about an hour and some change between your comments as my co-host. Brian Johnson, thank you for your generous donation. Listen here. You guys are helping me to become independent of ScrewTube, Facebook, and Patreon. You're helping me be like one of my series. Okay? Which is until and after reparations, ADOCS become your own economy. You want to use your gifts and talents to become your own economy. And that's what your contributions enable me to do. Educate the masses through an ADOCS lens about all the puckery. And it's all political. Along with enabling me to advocate full-time and offset the cost of bringing you these articles with an ADOCS lens. So just know, Brian says, CVS just sent me an email for a vacation sweepstakes contingent upon me getting a vaccination before July 4th. Please send me that. I'll add it to the laundry list of things that are being given away to encourage us to vaccinate. Now, I thought you said over half the country had gotten the vaccination. Why do you need to give away vacations and weed and Krispy Kreme donuts daily? And Gavin Newsom, is giving away 161 million of our tax dollars for you to vaccinate, all of a sudden, the COVID numbers are on the rise for us, as he's offering 161 million in monies and giveaways and gift cards for us to go and take the vaccine. But I thought you had it on lock. I thought, why you gotta bribe us? And at the same time, our numbers are on the rise here in California, magically, in correlation to your 161 million giveaway. These are things I give the side eye. So we're going to talk about what we've lost, all the giveaways in lieu of an income and a job, all of these distractions, how they're equal at 6 o'clock. So let me set the stage and talk about the puckery before us and what's being done. There have been calls for Fauci to resign or be fired. They intensify after doctor admits to 600,000 NIH funding for the Wuhan lab. Calls for Dr. Anthony Fauci to resign or be fired have intensified over the infectious disease experts continuously shifting positions. Dr. Fauci represents everything that President Eisenhower warned us about in his farewell address, the scientific technical elite steering the country toward their own ends, said Republican Representative Warren Davidson, who introduced the Fauci incompetence requires early dismissal act earlier this month. Under Dr. Fauci's guidance, Americans have lost confidence in the National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control, leading to confusion and serious government overreach that has threatened Americans' livelihoods and freedoms, Davidson said in a statement. Let me take a pause and talk about how that's been happening and how the government has been using our tax dollars, and they are complicit. Okay, let me get to the article. I'm going somewhere with this. Bear with me. Too risky to pursue. Wuhan lab bat. Oh, Lord, these darn pop-ups. Hold on. Oh, my God, it's covering my entire title. Just a second. Wuhan lab Batwoman and U.S. expert warned against performing gain-of-function experiments in 2015 paper after they created a coronavirus capable of infecting human cells. The head of the Wuhan Virology Lab and the University of North Carolina expert warned of the immense danger posed by their own gain-of-function research after creating a new form of coronavirus, and said it was potentially too risky to pursue. In a 2015 report, it has been revealed. I told y'all I caught this Mickey Vicky in October 2017. I was damn near dead. They called it, and I'm waiting for a confirmation on my blood work to see if I have the antibodies. I will share that with y'all. When I showed up to the doctors near death, after coughing up lungs and fevers and can't smell and can't eat and can't taste, in October 2017, my doctors begged me to get the shot. I was afraid of the shot. I didn't know about no shots. And they gave me a 10-day trial of antibiotics. They called it severe acute bronchitis walking pneumonia. Now, what you must understand is that I work in the courts with a bunch of foreigners on both the professional side and the applicant side, surrounded by Asians and Hispanics in the industry of the courts in which I work. And because we're independent contractors, we rarely take time off when we're sick. I only allowed them to give me the 10-day administration of the antibiotics after polishing off a bottle of Robitussin and continuing to cough up a lung. It took 5 months to feel better. I only took off from work 2 weeks. And now I'm finding out about gain of function research. We're going to talk about it. And this 2015 report that said that research, after creating a new form of coronavirus, the paper said it was potentially too risky to pursue. Researchers inserted a protein from a Chinese Rufous horseshoe bat into a SARS virus from 2002, resulting in a new pathogen which could infect human cells, Vanity Fair has revealed. Are the fact checkers calling Vanity Fair a liar? But worried researchers wrote, on the basis of these findings, scientific review panels may deem similar studies building chimeric viruses based on circulating strains too risky to pursue, as increased pathogenicity in mammalian models cannot be excluded. The potential to prepare for and mitigate future outbreaks must be weighed against the risk of creating more dangerous pathogens. Wuhan Institute of Virology's lead coronavirus researcher, Shi Zhengli, and an epidemiologist from the UNC, Ralph Barrett, were among 15 authors of a report on novel coronavirus research. She has been dubbed Batwoman for her research into how COVID mutates in bats. Infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci had previously denied that there was any possibility that the coronavirus was engineered in a lab. But emails released under the Freedom of Information Act this week show he was warned at the start of the pandemic, my word, that it may have been. And he was sent a copy of a paper by Barrick and Shi. Fauci has since said his emails have been taken out of context, but he can't guarantee everything that is going on in the Wuhan lab. So let's dig a little deeper. Welcome to the live. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. This is your midday wake-up call on As the World of ADOCS Turns. Let's go back to the article that I was just reading from. Hold on. Welcome to the live, y'all. So back to the article. Republicans have zeroed in on Fauci's admission that the National Institute of Health sent $600,000 to the Wuhan Institute of Virology to help study if bat coronaviruses could be transmittable to humans, but says it wasn't created in a lab. Why Fauci is suddenly willing to entertain the COVID-19 lab leak theory. The controversy comes as GOP Republican Guy Reschenthaler revealed that this month that he discovered the Obama administration had funneled $1.1 million to the Wuhan lab through the EcoHealth Alliance. Reschenthaler is also calling for Fauci's dismissal. Quote, he has been wrong, intentionally deceptive, and inconsistent throughout this entire pandemic. A few examples of Fauci's failures include claiming there was very little risk to Americans in January of 2020, opposing President Trump's China travel ban, then crediting it with saving lives and wrongly predicting an explosion of cases in Texas after Governor Abbott lifted the state mask mandates. Reschenthaler said in a Fox News interview Tuesday, quote, it is long past time for Dr. Fauci to stop talking to the American public. Fauci should resign or be fired immediately. Speaking at a Pointner event over the weekend, Fauci admitted he was now not certain that COVID-19's origin was natural. No, actually, I'm not convinced about that quote. I think we should continue to investigate what went on in China until we continue to find out, to the best of our ability, what happened. Fauci said, certainly the people, quote, certainly the people who investigated it say it likely was the emergence from an animal reservoir that then infected individuals. But it could have been something else, and we need to find that out. So, that's the reason why I said I'm perfectly in favor of any investigation that looks into the origin of the virus. Johnny come lately. Told y'all this was a pandemic. But I'm a conspiracy theorist, you see. Let's keep going. Got lots to uncover. The comments were a departure from his thought last May when he expressed more confidence in the pandemic's natural origin. Quote, if you look at the evolution of the virus in bats and what's out there now, the scientific evidence is very, very strongly leaning toward this could not have been artificially or deliberately manipulated, Fauci said at the time. Quote, everything about the stepwise evolution, excuse me, family, let me silence all this. ADOCS life, they don't stop. Everything about the stepwise evolution over time strongly indicates that this virus evolved in nature and then jumped species, he added. The doctor's change of heart also came under fire from Chinese state media, which accused Fauci of hyping a groundless narrative. Quote, Fauci attempted to hype the old and groundless narrative that the virus was leaked from a lab in Wuhan. Global Times editor-in-chief Hu Zhaijun wrote, quote, Fauci says ambiguously, but he knows he is fanning a huge lie against China. Rumors and slander against China can be seen everywhere in the U.S. media, and politicians lie about China without any bottom line. Do you smell a cover-up? China has continuously denied the suggestion that COVID-19 could have originated in one of its labs, despite suspicion from some that the country was being intentionally deceitful. Quote, this is a blatant lie, a conspiracy created by U.S. intelligence agencies and the media outlet to slander China, and China has denied it. It is a coincidence that Fauci repeated such lines. Is it a coincidence that Fauci repeated such lines? Hugh said. And now, Biden officials urge more virus origin investigation from the WHO, transparency from China. Anthony Fauci said that many believe the virus is a natural occurrence opposed to one that happened in a lab. But he added that we don't know 100% the answer to that. Members of the Biden administration on Tuesday called for further investigation led by the World Health Organization into the origin of the coronavirus and urged more transparency from China. Quote, we feel strongly, all of us, that we should continue with the investigation and go to the next phase of the investigation that the WHO has done. Leading infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci said at a White House coronavirus task force press briefing on Tuesday. Fauci said, many of us feel that it is more likely that this is a natural occurrence than one that happened in a lab, but he added that we don't know 100% the answer to that. Fauci's comments come after a report from the Wall Street Journal propelled the lab origin theory into the spotlight yet again. The journal reported that the 3 researchers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China were hospitalized shortly before the coronavirus outbreak was confirmed. China's foreign ministry spokesman, Zhao Lijian, said on Monday it was completely untrue that 3 members of the lab had fallen ill. Neither WHO nor U.S. intelligence has yet to determine the origin of the virus, but the theory that the virus escaped from a Chinese lab has been promoted on conservative websites and by some Republicans, including former President Donald Trump. So why is Biden calling for further investigation if the Republicans are lying? Why would that be? Andy Slavitt, White House senior advisor for COVID-19 response, called the investigation into the origin a critical priority and urged more transparency. It is our position that we need to get to the bottom of this, and we need a completely transparent process from China. We need the WHO to assist in that matter. We don't feel like we have that now, he said at the press briefing. We need to get to the bottom of this, whatever the answer may be. The leader of WHO previously said that the international team of experts tasked with traveling to Wuhan, China to study the origin of the coronavirus was not given access to all of the data they wanted during their trip. Let's talk about the doctor who died from coronavirus, who was trying to expose this a couple of years ago. Li Wenliang. Coronavirus death of Wuhan doctor sparks anger. He died after contracting the virus while treating patients in Wuhan. Now, this is dated. This is the BBC. February 2020. Before they shut the country down. I told you, I believe I contracted this in October of 2017. Last December of 2019, which is when I had my relapse. First quarter 2019, I believe. I will let you know and confirm that when my antibodies tests come back. I believe I had a relapse. I believe what my doctor administered to me 3 days consecutively because she forced me to take the shots. She forced me for 3 days to come back to the office for 3 consecutive days of what I believe to be remdesivir. I will let you know as soon as I get a confirmation from her. First quarter 2019. Plus the 10-day antibiotics. What took 5 months to be cured from in October 2017 without the shots took 2 weeks to be cured from with the shots. So in December 2019, he sent a message to fellow medics warning of a virus he thought looked like SARS, another deadly coronavirus. But he was told by police to stop making false comments and was investigated for spreading rumors. Quote, I don't think he was rumor mongering. Hasn't this turned into reality now? His father, Li Shuying, told the BBC, my son was wonderful. According to Chinese site Pair Video, Dr. Li's wife is due to give birth in June of last year. The virus cases, severe acute respiratory infection, and symptoms usually start with a fever followed by a dry cough. Most of those killed had at that time been over the age of 60 or have suffered from other medical conditions, China's health authorities say. Dr. Li's medical history is not known. The country's anti-corruption body said it would open an investigation into issues involving Dr. Li. China's leadership had already faced accusations of downplaying the severity of the virus and initially trying to keep it secret. The government has admitted shortcomings and deficiencies in its response to the virus, which has now killed, at that time, 636 people and infected 31,198 in mainland China. And what has the public reaction been? Analysts say it is hard to recall an event in recent years that has triggered as much online grief, rage, and mistrust against the Chinese government. News of Dr. Li's death became the top trending topic on Chinese social media, garnering an estimated $1.5 billion views. Excuse me. His death has also brought demands for action with Wuhan government owes Dr. Li Liang an apology, and we want freedom of speech among the hashtags trending. Both hashtags were quickly censored. When the BBC searched Weibo early on Friday, hundreds of thousands of comments have been wiped away. Only a handful remain. Quote, "This is not the death of a whistleblower. This is the death of a hero," read one comment. A photo circulating on Twitter, reportedly sourced from messaging platform WeChat, showed a message in Chinese saying, "Farewell, Li Wing Liang," written in the snow on a riverbank. Many have taken to posting under the hashtag, "Can you manage? Do you understand?" A reference to the letter Dr. Li was told to sign when he was accused of disturbing social order. BBC China correspondent Stephen McDonald says Beijing's efforts to manage the coronavirus outbreak have laid bare the worst aspects of China's command and control of governance under President Xi Jinping. The Chinese people will take some convincing that the government knows how to manage such an emergency, he adds. Dr. Li, an ophthalmologist, posted his story on Weibo from a hospital bed a month after sending out his initial warning. He had noticed 7 cases of a virus that he thought looked like SARS, the virus that led to a global epidemic in 2003. On December 30, 2019, he sent a message to fellow doctors in a chat group warning them to wear protective clothing to avoid infection. 4 days later, he was summoned to the Public Security Bureau, where he was told to sign a letter. In the letter, he was accused of making false comments that had severely disturbed the social order. Local authorities later apologized to Dr. Li. In his Weibo post, he describes how on January 10, he started coughing. The next day, he had a fever, and 2 days later, he was in a hospital. He was diagnosed with the coronavirus on January 30th, 2020. Are we not becoming like China, wherein our First Amendment rights are on the line and our Second Amendment rights are on the line? Just food for thought. Now, what is gain of function research before I come read what you got to say about it? Hold on, family. I'm looking that up. I don't know where my article disappeared to. The challenge with having so many windows open. What is gain of function research? Oh, all of a sudden, we're unable to locate the page you're looking for. Let me find another way here, family. Let's see what the Wikipedia says. Gain of function research is a term used to describe any field of medical research which alters an organism or disease in a way that increases pathogenesis, transmissibility, or host range, the types of host that a microorganism can infect. This research is intended to reveal targets to better predicting emerging infectious diseases and to develop vaccines and therapeutics. For example, influenza B can only infect humans and harbor seals. Introducing a mutation that would allow influenza B to infect rabbits is a controlled laboratory situation, would be considered a gain-of-function experiment, as the virus did not previously have that function. However, such an experiment could help reveal which parts of the virus are responsible for its host range, enabling the creation of antiviral medicines which block this function. In virology, gain-of-function research is employed with the intention of better understanding current and future pandemics. Or plandemics for the money grab and to wipe ADOCS completely off the monopoly board. They don't care if it costs a few of their white folks their livelihoods either. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. In vaccine development, gain-of-function research is conducted in the hope of gaining a head start on a virus and being able to develop a vaccine or therapeutic before it emerges. The term gain-of-function is sometimes applied more narrowly to refer to research which could enable a pandemic potential pathogen to replicate more quickly or cause more harm in humans or other closely related mammals. Population control, perhaps? This is why this needs to matter to us, so we can make informed decisions about whether or not to participate in vaccinations, as they are creating reasons to require one, which does what? Makes them wealthier. Oh my God, we're at 123. Okay, let me stop right there and come see what you got to say about it. What's up, Adrian? I see you, fam. Okay, let's see here. CBS, okay, I'm going to be covering the CBS vacation sweepstakes at 6 p.m. Okay? Thank you so much. Forwarding you that CBS email. It's a trick bag. Brian says, this is why the jab is so problematic. 1 minute is safe and effective. The next they are putting pauses on certain versions as the experts backpedal. Don't most vaccines take years to develop? And we are their guinea pigs. And that's why they're giving away weed and Krispy Kreme and vacation sweepstakes and money and gift cards to make us go and take this. I'm going to correlate that to the losses and the medical apartheid on Black folks on the segment at 6 p.m. Now, this will probably not live in YouTube, because when I talk about these things, they take my videos down. So please sign up for my email at thereprospect.com. In a minute, you will only see me go live here. None of my videos will be stored here. They will be stored on that website on subscription basis. It'll be a nominal monthly little fee attached, because a lot of the stuff I want to talk about is akin to the ethnic cleansing of ADOCS in all forms. And I'm told that I am homophobic when I talk about the transgender agenda I can't talk about buck breaking. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, whose video I cannot wait to watch this evening with my daughter. Support the brother. It's selling out all over the place. So I can't really talk about those kinds of things over here or in Facebook because they own this. But I own the repperspect.com. And with your help, I can continue analyzing the puckery through an ADOCS lens and our demands for reparations and a Black agenda for ADOCS. So please sign up for the emails. This will only go live and I will download it and upload it to my site. This is not going to live here. Okay? It's also funny when I hear people say, parodying the media, the virus has long-term effects. Okay, but how would anyone know that since COVID allegedly just landed based in 2019, 2020? Because, Brian, it's been here longer than that. I'm a witness. When I get that antibodies report, I will confirm with you that I had it before they even called it in March of 2020. Adrian said, is in the digital building. Hey, Ange. Hey, Adrian. Yes, this definitely needs to be saved externally. Oh, yeah. They'll decimate my whole entire channel. So these things can't live over here. Anywho, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're at 1:30. I hope to see you back at 6 o'clock for part 2, where I'm going to talk about what it's cost ADOCS, what this pandemic has cost ADOCS, all the giveaways, which I don't understand. If the majority of the country, at least half the country, is already vaccinated, why you still give it away? And the medical apartheid that has already been waged against ADOCS on our 6 o'clock segment of the Ida B. Wells 2.0 series, Anti-Black Racism. Until 6 o'clock, family, know that I love you Black. I love you strong. Peace.